Hey everyone, Prepper Dennis here. We are going to talk suture types. So there's a couple of different things about sutures. So you have absorbable and non-absorbable. So basically means one dissolves and one doesn't over a period of time. The other thing is that we have braided and we have a monofilament. So monofilament, think about a strand of hair. It's one piece of hair. Whereas a braided is just like a rope. It has multiple pieces of that suture interwoven into itself to make itself stronger. So a couple of the different types of sutures we'll talk about. One of my least favorite is silk. So silk is terrible. The benefit it does have is that, or two of the benefits it has is one, it's cheap. The other thing is it's really easy to handle. It's really easy to tie. The knot does stay tied very well once it once you do tie it. The terrible thing about it is this thing it grows bacteria like crazy. It also wicks very bad. You think about any sort of silk garment that you have, it really pulls in moisture, and that is not something that you want drawn into a wound, especially the way that the way sutures would draw moisture in, because that's just going to grow bacteria. You're going to get infection along the suture lines, and the possibility of getting the wound infected. Now, if this is what you got, it's what you got. But I would highly recommend just getting this to practice, work on your tying with it, because it is super cheap. But use it for nothing else other than that, or maybe just use it to suture up your dog or something like that. So the other thing is, so we have gut sutures and we have chromic gut. I would recommend getting chromic gut. It does last longer. It takes longer to dissolve. So that's what that looks like. I don't know if I got a good picture of the silk one. So silk, black braided, and this is a monofilament. You will see here it is absorbable, and then you see what the needle is, and we'll talk about that at some point in time. Just like electrical wire, the smaller the number, the bigger it is. So typically what you're going to want around for everyday use. So this says 4/0. So this would be smaller than a 3/0 suture material. So like this one here, it's 3/0. So this suture is actually bigger in diameter than this 4/0. Okay, this is going to be your primary suturing material, is a 3/0 and maybe some 4/0, because any sutures on the hand or on joints, things of that nature, you're going to want a stronger suture. So you may even have to have some 2/0 around to get some strength out of that suture. So that's our absorbable. This is our non-absorbable here. Okay, non-absorbable. Okay. This one, this is PGA, oh golly, I can't even remember how to say it. But anyways, PGA is absorbable. It does take a long time to do it. 3/0, kind of pretty much consider that to be there for like at least 6 weeks or longer. And I'm talking about in a mouth situation. The mouth tends to break down stuff very rapidly, especially depending on what people eat. So like a 4/0 suture in the mouth, it's going to last maybe 5 days tops. I'm seeing about 3 to 4 days on a 4/0 in the mouth. But anyways, a 3/0 in this PGA will last probably at least 6 weeks. Your 4/0s are going to last about 4 weeks. This 5/0 well, probably about 3-ish weeks, maybe on the 4-week scale. This 5/0 is really fine and delicate. So that is, this will be for like facial lacerations where you're placing sutures really, really close together, under, pretty high magnification, at least a 4.5 power magnification. I don't know if you saw my first video. You can see my microscope in the background. That goes all the way up to 20 power. I don't typically use that. About the most on the everyday is about a 10 power that I'll use under that microscope. But anyways, this will absorb, but it lasts a really quite a while. So it's kind of one of those tweener deals. And so if I was going to pick 2 sutures to keep around, it would be chromic gut and probably a finer PGA. So majority of my stuff would be a chromic gut, like 2, 3, and a 4/0, and then I'd keep some PGA around for some fine, delicate stuff. The other thing is this PGA is a braided. So the one thing about it is it doesn't wick as bad as some of the other braided materials, like silk. Silk is terrible. The only reason I have it around is just so I can teach people how to suture, because we do have like interns from high school come around, and so that's one thing I try to teach them how to do a composite prep. Whenever they're when I'm taking out the decay, what a prep should look like before you place the filling. So I'll have them do that on like some plastic teeth or something like that, and I'll have them do some suturing on a towel or something like that. So I try to keep some silk around for them to be able to do that. I don't really use this much anymore. I do keep it around for some facial lacerations, because as far as like bacteria growth, the PTFE grows basically zero bacteria on it. As far as suturing, it is very, very kind to the wound. So it doesn't pull bacteria in. It's very easy to tie. The one downfall of it is, though, is it does not absorb. So you got to place it in such a way that you can retrieve it. Like if you had to use this silk, you'd want to be able to retrieve it. This PGA, you might want to place it in such a way that you are able to retrieve it. Chromic, that is going to be your go-to in places that you cannot retrieve it. But so this is a monofilament, so it's kind of like your strand of hair. It's one piece. And so the other thing is it's on a P3 needle. So we might cover a little bit of needle stuff, but a P3 or like a C3 needle, they're very, very fine. They're very delicate. They're for to help you keep things from scarring as bad, because you can place those, because the needle is so fine, you can place them very, very close together. So anyways, this is going to be kind of this first video of suturing, and the next one I'll just pop open some of these packages, kind of show you what they look like. I'll do it on a towel and show you how to do it on a towel, and eventually, you'll want to get like a cow tongue or a pig jaw or something like that. You'll take your scalpel, cut on that tongue, and you'll work through and you'll suture that tongue back together. You can even do it on a chicken breast or a chicken leg or something like that. Just, get you you can probably get them at any vet store or on Amazon for vets, things like that, and just get you like a 15 blade, and you can make a straight cut. Don't make jagged, make a straight cut. and work on suturing those back together after you've practiced on a towel for a little bit. So anyways,